RHomies. I am delighted to share this episode with you. This is the incomparable, the iconic, the gorgeous Courtney Roczen. I adore this woman, and I still can't believe I got to chat with her. She is just such a gem of a human. There's absolutely a reason why the Roczen camp is so beloved. It was so fun. So you will hear I had some tech issues on this episode. I spiraled a little bit. I'm not a fan of Riverside right now, but my buddy Nathan, shout out, saved my butt. There's a few places where you'll hear the audio glitch like a little bit just from my own tinkering. But Courtney, being the sweetest human that she is, texted me a few days later and offered to re-record the whole hour and a half if I couldn't get it figured out. So bless her. We do not deserve her. Oh my gosh. So I appreciate your patience as I work through the edits. Technology is not my strong suit. I'm so proud of this conversation. I'm so proud of how Courtney mothers her boys, how she loves her people well, and really how her partnership with Ken elevates them both. Courtney was just honest, and we laughed and we cried. Literally, I mean, I had to reach for a tissue, which should surprise nobody. But I told her that she's going to have to come back because there's so much more to her story. There's so much more to be written. I'd love to write her biography. And you guys just have endless questions because she is a fascinating femme fatale of the sport. I'm honored to hold space for the women of Moto, for the wives, the highest points of the sport that we love so much, and it's truly a gift to get to tell their stories. So I will shut up, and I will give you Mrs. Courtney Savage Roczen. Hi, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Real Housewives of Moto. It's episode not 94. That would be fitting, but I am here with Courtney Roczen. Courtney, thank you for coming on the pod.
Yeah, good morning.
Oh my gosh. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Don't mind this is Ken's RHoM. I figured I would try it since it's all set up, makes things a little bit easier. But yeah, just sitting in the shop in the podcast booth, like looking at all the mess that I still have to take care of. We've been doing a lot of organization and everything during the off season. So yeah, we've been busy. Lots of travel, everything. Just, I feel like he hasn't even had an off season. He's been on the gas and he's still on the gas for the next couple of weeks.
Goodness. Yeah. Y'all have not really taken a breath.
That's not the Roczen way. No.
No, not in either of y'all's MO.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited that you decided to do this. I have bugged you probably for 2 years to do this, but now is
putting me
the
on
time.
Do not disturb. Hold on one second.
You're good. Do it.
My mom text.
That's a good. I'm gonna put mine on it too.
Yeah. There we go.
I don't know if you have heard. I've told the story on the pod, but the first time I ever saw you or Ken in the flesh was at Fox.
Okay. See,
This
I
was
was
years
thinking
ago.
Motocross of Nations. No?
No, there's been a couple other times, but this was the first time I'd ever seen you or Kenny not on the track, not at press or whatever. And I walked into Fox. This must have been 23. I cannot remember what year, but they have all the jerseys on the wall. And so Ken's is the only one that's open. His jersey is there, but the door is open. And I'm like, well, that's weird. What's going on? So I'm looking at all the jerseys and I turn around and your man comes out of the dressing room in his underwear.
Yep. That sounds pretty right.
It's on brand. And so I'm like,
Very.
Oh my gosh, Allie, don't freak out. Don't be weird. So I turn around casually to walk away and I ran into you.
Wait, you had somebody with you too. Was there?
Yeah, my friend Dan.
Yes. I do remember when this went up because I'm like, Ken, somebody saw you in your underwear. What were you doing?
I didn't
remember
make
that.
it weird. I promise.
Nope. No, they have such an awesome showroom. I was bummed. They shut down for a while, during the whole COVID thing. And I'm like, is the store coming back? Because I used to just like to go browse. What are they coming out with next? What can I wear to the race? It's free reign in there for Ken and I. And that's a good shop.
Yeah, that's exactly what you guys are doing. So I was like, okay, I am freaking out that Ken is here. I'm now having to be chill that he's walking around in his underwear. And then I turn around and run into you who anybody that listens to the pod knows I am such a fan of you. I'm such a fan of the women of the sport. So then I was not chill at all. And I look over at my friend Dan and he's like, calm down. So I had my moment. I was okay. I think that might have been the same time. I did meet you guys at a press conference at Anaheim.
At an Anaheim 1 press conference, I think.
Yeah. I don't think that was the same year. That might have been the next year. But yeah, you were just in mom mode and Griff with the iPad and...
Yeah, sometimes I know I've got some heat before about iPads and I'm like, listen, when he needs it, he gets it, which is on an airplane because I don't want to be disrespectful to other people, at a press conference. It's not like my kids are not iPad kids. Like they're so busy. They're like kicking soccer balls in the yard at 7 a.m. Like they're that type of kid. But sometimes an iPad is necessary. And of course, like I'm a little bit of a helicopter mom. I know everything that they're doing on the iPad. So like when people started harping on me, I think you had mentioned that. Yeah, they were on an iPad. I'm like, hold your horses.
I hate humans.
People are just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. So my gosh. Well, I'm such a fan of you guys, your whole family. I got to meet your mom at Salt Lake. Like I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm fully obsessed. So I will try to keep my excitement. So we'll try to be chill. But I want to talk about Salt Lake. I want to talk about your perspective, like what that week was like. We'll touch on the rest of the season. So when did you know that this season was special? Let's start there.
I mean, honestly, I would take it all the way back to Glendale. I think when your team is hit with the news of Larry, like the magnitude of Larry is so, like, he's one of the most amazing humans from a like father and then team manager, like the way that he cares for Ken, cares for his people, in general. I know Ken has said a lot of times, like when he first met Larry, he was like, ugh, like he's scary. And, but when you're Larry's people, it's, it's like the most graceful hug. And, I go to Larry whenever I'm like having a moment, if I have an idea, and he always answers the phone. And I'm like, for a wife, like he just talks about his kids a lot, and he, puts himself like in dad mode for Ken before he even comes to Ken about racing stuff. So I would say at Glendale, because it kind of gave you that little bit of extra willpower to try harder, do your best, no excuses. And I would almost say that that's like, I would never wish that upon anyone, but Ken has such a big heart where it's like that little bit of extra motivation may have been what he needed to get the job done and keep like, let's do it for Larry. Let's do it for Larry. And, Larry's diagnosis was not the theme of the whole season, because he's like, don't worry about me. Like, I want you to go back racing and I want to win. And Larry's like, he's there not even thinking about his diagnosis. And so, yeah, I would say Glendale. And then from there, just kind of started that belief kicked in. Ken's always like, as we've talked about post racing, because it could be near, it could be far away. Like, I don't know when he's going to retire, but he's like, I'm never going to suck. So when is the right time to hang up my boots? And so it's like, I know he's always going to show up and be his absolute best. And, so yeah, after Glendale, and it's just started, came a little bit more frequently, race wins. And so, yeah, I mean, there was a time where I was like, 30 points is a lot of points. And, because Hunter was Mr. Consistent. And so it's hard to keep the dream alive, when you're like, 30 points is no joke.
Yeah.
But our fearless leader, I'll say Ken, he believed. And so he forced us all to believe. And, I was texting with Jeremy a lot, and he sent a screenshot of a text that I had sent him, and he's like, I will forever think of you, girl, as the girl who said, we're still effing in this, because I'm passionate about it. I'm like, I'm at home because, I only went to like every other race. I'm like, we were in it, and like, let's go.
Gosh. Okay. So Glendale. So you go from Glendale, highest of high. You guys have had Glendale's been good to you.
Glendale's been really good. And you know what? That was such a fun race. And I hate to you never want to cheer against your competitors, but it happened a couple times. Like we always got such good, I have this secret little corner in the AC and JB corner. I mean, they've said that I'm in there almost every time that I'm in there, but it seems like every time that I was in there, it's like the vibes were high. And so Ken most the time would win. I think every single time he was on the podium that I was in the booth. But that time they had the best spot in all of Glendale. And I was watching the race with Darren and Johnny. And it was one of those where it's like, my guy just beat you. I'm cheering for your guy because like your guy's a really great guy. But I told him, I'm like, I love your guy, but I'm so glad it was my guy. And they just laughed, all gave hugs. And but it's cool when you can share that competitive experience with your competitors and not be like, like I love them. They're such great people. And yeah, what a season it was.
What a season. I can tell you just from the fan side, it was the strangest feeling because nobody dislikes Ken or Hunter.
No.
So when it comes down to the end, you're just like, I don't want anyone to walk away from this. Like, I just want to sit in this and everybody win, So I don't know that there'd ever been a season where we felt that tension.
No, that'd be a hard one to match.
Yeah, for sure. And and the storylines behind it, I mean, I could go on for hours, but it's just like, yes, I love it. So you go from Glendale, we win it. It's beautiful, to Seattle. How does that feel?
To Seattle. That one was like, cause after Glendale, like you're in it. Let's do this. Like, and then it's like straight back to the bottom. And you're cursing the darn Kickstarter and the whole thing. And I'm like, nope, that's the cards were dealt. And yeah, just fueled the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, came home and just that was heavy because I was home that one. I had gone to Glendale, home Seattle because that's a long trek with kids. And Larry and I'm like, Larry, he's like, don't count points, race to race. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep cool.
Keep it cool. Yep. So we go into Arlington, Daytona, Indy, Birmingham. These were some touch and go races. Like these were gnarly.
Yeah, and like a lot of them, it's an outer body experience for me. Like I don't remember a lot of races. Like for a while, like when we would go race outdoors, I wouldn't even remember venues because it's like my race cap goes on and my focus is Ken and I forget about everything around. And so, I mean, Daytona, we were with the kids, which is always so fun. Like all the kids play and they have us in this little corner where all the families are and all the kids are on their scooters or Stasics. And but yeah, that was a good one. I don't know, he knocked off a couple great ones where it's just be there race to race. And like I anxiously was waiting for, because I mean, the narrative has always been the same. When is Ken going to drop off? And for me, I was like, I'm believing what he's telling me. I'm fine. I've got this. Like, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, second half, it's coming. It's coming because it's happened so many times. And I'm more often a cup half empty type of person. I'll think of all the worst case scenarios before I'll think of the positives. And so, I just was like, grasping for life. But no, that was a super cool one. Daytona, I watched with the Tomacs and they're always a good time. And like Kathy always takes care of me. Like,
oh,
hey, Cora, I have a suite, which is why I was actually in their suite at Seattle. And then Eli's heat came and they all left. And I was like, Kat, can I stay?
No. Yeah. I need to stay in my little bubble.
Yeah, it's cool because like you're cheering on, I mean, Ken's biggest rivalries of a season of the past 3 decades, 2 decades. And it was such a good season and people, cheering for Ken. Like once Eli was out, I think that they had, Kath said, let's pray to the Suzuki gods.
I love that.
I'm like, I will.
I do feel like the narrative of all of like the generational Tomac fans, like when it was for sure that Eli was out of it, like it was like, okay, now we're Team Ken.
Yep, for sure. And that's kind of always been the same for us. Like when Ken would go out, our ship, because like we're still watching everything, like we're cheering for Eli because he's a longtime family friend. I mean, I've known his brother since I was 18 years old. I mean, that's 20 years. Like, we've just, in Blake and Eli, they've known each other since 50s.
That's so cool. God, I love it. Y'all are some good people. I mean, both Tomac, Savage, Roczen Camps, like I hear a lot accidental Moto TMZ, whatever you want to call me. And like nobody says a bad thing about those camps. And I'm not saying that because you're here to like blow up your ego. Like that is a very rare thing in moto. Like there's some weird humans in this sport. Let's be real. But there are no, dark secrets in those camps. And I just think that's really special. So good job, guys.
I hope so. I'm going to credit that to having great parents because, parenting lasts a lifetime. And I would hope that, I hope I can do the same for my kids. Like, do good, show up for people, be good people.
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job. I love seeing the guys at dad mode. I was going to say, I saw you guys at Arlington. That was what changed for me. He looked terrible on Friday. His skin was gray. I did not go on record because I was like, my biggest thing is like, I want to show you guys respect with discretion. So if you guys ever share things with me that I know is like, that's not public knowledge, we're not going to say it. But I came home on Friday to my husband and he was like, oh, so cool. You saw Courtney and Ken. And I was like, Ken looks like shit.
Like, ill. Yeah.
He's
very
so
ill.
sick.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I couldn't tell because you had even said that they had that weird allergy thing. But same with us. Like our seasons are so backwards here. It's like in March, you get the leaf drop and then the pollen like immediately back to back. So you get fall in a matter of 2 weeks of each other, fall and spring. And we were just a wreck, but he got hit the hardest. Like he only over the past couple of years has he started to get allergies and he just was like congested to the brim. And he looked like crap.
That was a rough one.
Being able to put up somewhat of a fight on Saturday was like, thank goodness he had a little bit in the tank. But yeah, like he's always said, he knows when to turn it on, when to pull back, just because how long his career has been. So that was, he knows his body.
That was an incredible race just because, he got the start. He was leading up front and you just saw it. It was like he did not have it. I think you said he even threw up before one of the races.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he maybe the congestion of it. I think he actually threw up in that race in like the later laps. And like when you grab a helmet and you're like, ugh.
It was wet.
Yeah, that one. And then there was one other.
Nashville was toasty.
Yeah, one of the warm ones. He threw up in the helmet again there because he just was like, just gave it all. Like it's all gone.
Yeah, there's no nobody is thinking that he's leaving anything left there. But oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So let's skip to Denver. So we knew Denver could be the changing of the tides. Like that could be a make or break. And it's not. We have to go into Salt Lake. Like it basically is just kind of like a survive it race. What does that feel like?
Yeah, that one was I feel like when you feel that everything's leveled up, like it is. I'm not a ball sports person at all, but when you're like in the final seconds of a game, everything gets heightened, more talked about, more emotions tied to it. And I think like Denver was one where he didn't go with the right engine package, but at least he knew that afterwards, like he knew how to fix it, like altitude. We hadn't been there in years. And so, going into Denver and it's just, you don't want to get so tied to an end result. So there it's like, let's just keep it, same as it has been. Because I feel like too many times, like I've said, I guess multiple times, we have had the rug pulled out from under us so many times. And you're just like waiting to see how things unfold. And you're like, I'm not going to give it too much thought into a championship. Like he's in there, but we've settled for second so many times that you in your head, in your heart, you have to be okay with second. Like you can't want it too much. And we've been on that side of the fence too, where it's you win at all costs. And for us, like, being okay with second, it helps kind of mellow things out where it's like, I know he's capable of second. Like he can get that any good start. I'm not gonna push him to try and get first. And so, and here I'm saying, I'm not gonna push him to do anything. I don't have any say in anything. I can just be like, hey, you want a good meal? You gotta, you got the best cheering section with who did I take there? Griff? I think I took
We
Griff
should go back and document that. Which kids were which race?
I know. Yeah, I don't even remember. I think I took Griff there. But yeah, like we were okay with second. Like,
Yeah.
you know, in the back of his mind, in the back of my mind, we were fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, there wasn't any highs, any lows, and that, you know, Larry laid the groundwork for us to think that way. So, yeah, after Denver, rolling into Salt Lake, all season long, we're manifesting. You know, I've become a big believer in manifesting. You have to try and you kind of learn to think that way. I feel like with all the crap that my family, that Ken, that we've all been through together, if you don't believe in manifestation, the negativity will eat you alive. Like the doubt will eat you alive.
Preach.
You know, and so I feel like the power of manifestation after Denver, I felt the world manifesting this for Ken.
Mm-hmm.
And it hadn't hit until, so we secretly did that Fox video right before Denver. Actually, yeah, I do know it was Griff because Ken drove out on Thursday and the video guys were like down the street waiting for his car to pull out of the driveway.
He didn't know.
Clear. And I'm like, he didn't know. No.
Oh gosh.
Because they're like, regardless of the end result, this is what we want to do for him. Like, let's tell a story of how proud we are of you, regardless of the end result. If you get first, we're gonna put that number 1 in the wheel at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't, we're still gonna. It's 94 forever. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like so. Yeah, when they came in, and I was with Wes, and I was like, "Do you want me to read you the letter first?" And he's like, "Nope, I want to feel it just the way that you're feeling it." And after we only did 2 takes, but after the first take, he and the other guy that was with him, they're like tearful, and I'm like, "Oh shoot." Like this is gonna be a heavy one. And then he went through a series of questions with me and he's like, how does it feel to have the whole world cheering for you guys? And that hadn't ever even crossed my mind, honestly, until he said it like out loud. I'm like, they really are. But at the same time, they're cheering for Hunter too. Like this is much bigger than Team 1 versus Team 2, you know? This was so good for the sport. But for him to say that, and that's when I was like, it's on. Like, it's time where we could, I don't know, I felt it. I had never seen a result so clearly. And I told Will Christian this after the race. Like, I have never seen a finish as clearly. You know, like some people say, like, they can see themselves like walking down the aisle. They can see their wedding before they even get married, before they even get engaged or even dating somebody. I know what my wedding day is going to look like. I never had that. Like, but a race result, I'm like, I get it now. Like, I never saw it more clearly than like the power of belief. I could see it working out for us.
Yeah. Okay, so you write the letter before Denver. Oh my gosh.
Before Denver. Whew. I had to get help. I couldn't make it through a second paragraph, and I text our friend Mikey at Fox. He was Ken's best man in our wedding. He's known us. I knew Mikey before Ken because when I was working with Tutu Motorsports, he was my Fox gear guy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah, I knew that he was friends with Ken. And then like, yeah, when we started to date, it was like, I have a very close friend of mine and Mikey, and he had just started dating Erica too. So it was kind of fun. We had these 2 like budding relationships. And then, yeah. And I'm like, I get my friends. Like we already have like this circle of friends already, but Ken and I weren't friends then, but Mikey and I, and now we get to do things as a couple, you know? So yeah, like he knows Ken so well. He knows me so well. And I'm like, Mikey, I can't get past the second page, like, or second paragraph. So he helped me write it or he like did the first draft. And then I went through and as sobbing, redrafting it. And, yeah, like it came out so special because yes, it was a letter from me. It was a letter, you know, on behalf of us, but it was a letter from the close circle that we have. You know, it was so much bigger. It's not just what I was feeling. It was what everyone close to our our hearts, our families. So yeah, I feel like even that was bigger, but it was hard. Like
Yeah.
it was so hard. Just tearful for sure.
I mean, it broke the internet. That was, yes. I mean, Saturday, there were so many moments, which we'll get there. Griff holding up the plate. I mean, there's so many things that'll be burned into my brain, but coming home at like 4 a.m. and seeing it, I don't think I've stopped crying yet, but that one, I was just like, this is going to live in everybody's brain forever. Like, it was incredible.
And I didn't
Ugh.
know that. So I know, like, of course, to get content and everything, like Fox had to reach out to Feld. We need racing footage. And it was really, really cool. I felt that they had that ready for Ken.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a full group, Feld was there with it, to help or to show him. And to see how he was moved, with two of his best friends sitting side by side. Like it was just, I don't know, it was just dreamy. Like
Yeah.
you can't top that weekend for us.
Mm-mm.
So
Let's
yeah.
talk about that weekend. All right. What does does Ken stay west? Does he come home like between Denver? What does that week look like
Yep.
before you get there?
Every weekend. Every weekend he comes home. Even I think he only stayed out one weekend during the West Coast, which is hard. Like it's hard on our family or any of the dads. Like they're gone 4 days a week and they're recovering, training, and riding the other 3 days of the week. And so
Right.
it's like, as a mom, you're like, pony up, you have to wear the britches. But Ken is not the type of guy that lets me do all of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
he loves being with the kids, and it's like, it's a healthy distraction for him. But man, it's a huge week. You can see that it's wearing on him. He's feeling anxious the whole week. He felt anxious,
Ugh.
and and sometimes like I'd see him just like reading a story with Rafe, like sitting in the chair, and I'm like, yeah, take that moment to just be dad. Don't think about the racing. Don't think about the end result. But it was definitely weighing very heavy that whole week,
Yeah.
leading up. And then we all left on Thursday morning.
Okay.
And yep, we had a lot going on that week. And of course, we wanted to stay out of Ken's space. Like, let's let him have his normal weekend. Dean stays in the bus. The team's there. Larry's there. Let them have their thing. We were off doing pop-up shop at
Yes.
Cycle Gear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. We had our team dinner, and it was just really cool because like you really felt everyone showed up for the spectacle that it was going to be regardless of the end result. And the whole team, I mean, I didn't realize how big our team was until we had our team dinner. I swear there were like 50 people in there
That's
because
crazy.
they all showed up. And just super cool. We stayed in, every time that I go with the boys, I try and make it a memorable, like we'll stay somewhere memorable. And when I saw you and we're in that Union Station hotel, and
It was
it's like,
gorgeous.
I'm just in awe. I'm like a history buff, even though like, I don't keep tabs. Like I can't riddle off history dates and everything to you, but I love soaking in the past, like old history, and knowing, like I'm from Utah and I didn't even know that was a thing. You did because it was on your birthday.
I did. I know. And well, it was my birthday weekend, also Mother's Day weekend. So, that was my Mother's Day and birthday present that I was like, listen, probably mid-April. No, further back than that. I was like, I'm going. I don't know if you're going, husband, but like I'm going, period. So yeah, you guys, so we saw you Friday night with mama and the boys. What are the conversations with the boys that week? Like, what are you telling them? What are they asking? Like, what are they saying to Ken? Like, these are the questions that all the girls have, is they're just like, how do you parent that week?
I think it was just, all season long, we laid out the groundwork. This is very important for daddy, if there's the big trophy, because like they know our trophy room, our trophy wall, I should say. And they love it. They love looking at all of it, which is why, I feel like I don't know what everyone else's trophy areas look like, but we put ours on display because our boys love it. And I want them to know how special it is what their dad has done. But there's been this one trophy that we do not have. And so that was kind of, because how do you explain that to a 2 and a 5-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, like we got to help daddy get the big trophy.
I love
And
that.
yeah, well, how come he has this one? Well, that's a West Coast, like, how come he has the same one that, um, Cole and Hayden have? Like, well,
Mm-hmm.
that's when daddy was young. Since he's been on the big bike, yeah, we don't have the big one. And they know who has them. Like Cooper has a lot. Eli has a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And we got to help daddy this one time. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, leading up to it, like our boys, they get it. They get it. Like both of them, if you were say like, God gave me this child for a reason, they sleep through the night. They're busy. They're Kens. They are mini Kens to the T. It's wild how much energy boys have, but they understand the assignment. They love going to the races. They love being on the bikes. They are so conversational with everybody. You don't hear much whining at the races. They get it. And so yeah, that week leading into, we're gonna help daddy get the big trophy. Like,
Ugh.
heck yeah, we are. Let's do it, And so yeah, they knew to be on their best behavior. And they did that. Of course, I have to bring in my support team, my mom, my dad, my brother. Like, they're helping keep them fully entertained so that we're not in Ken's space to cause any additional anxiety or frustration. So, yeah, that's how you parent. You tell your kids the facts, and if you're good, maybe we'll go on a Mickey boat or a Disney cruise,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe we'll go here, or maybe we'll go there. And so, yeah.
I love that.
That's how
Motivate
that's
with Disney.
our approach. Yes, always,
Mhm.
always.
Well, I love, and then Mathis had the theory that Griff was a super secret spy in the Honda rig, because he was always
For sure.
I love
For
that.
sure. But it totally could have backfired on us, because I saw like in one of the Lawrence's videos, and they're like in the candy jar. Now they
Yes.
know where or the candy drawer. They know where the candy drawer is in probably about 70% of the trucks, because my kids, they're friendly. They're so friendly. But everyone at Honda, they're so good to my kids. And because they were there when we had them,
Yep.
or when were we there in 23? No, we weren't there in 23.
Griff, yeah.
But Griff, they've known Griff, but they could have fueled them with the crappy candy, and we could have had a whole other issue on our hands. But, no, yeah, they were over there all the time in open arms. Like, we couldn't have asked to go against better competitors, because it's like, they're good people. We love you. You love us, I think. If you're letting my kids run havoc over there, there's got to be some good-hearted feelings for us. So,
yeah, I love that.
Just so many good times with them too. And yeah, they were super spies.
Yes, I love that. I like. It was in one of the vlogs where Jet was like, "Yeah, go ask Ken, our dad." He's speaking to Griffin and still saying dad, and something about Griffin and Ken's calves. They were talking about. I was like, "This is so cute." Like,
yeah,
they're just such little boys.
Yeah, and it's cool, because it's like those brothers. I get their relationship now that I have 2 boys of myself, on my own, and why the second child is the way that they are, or I guess it'd be the third child in their household. But yeah, like I see the parallels, and it like only makes me love the Lawrences more, because I have these 2 little guys myself, and I'm like, this is the coolest gift, to have a brother, or to have a sibling. My brother and I are close, but having 2 of the same is pretty cool.
Yeah. I love that. That's so special. Okay, so let's go race day.
Race day.
Ken stays with Dean.
Yep,
in the bus.
In the bus.
Okay.
Yep.
Everybody always wants to know about sleep. So people are like, where do they sleep? Where are kids? So we are separated. He stays at the bus. You guys are at hotel.
If it's just me, I'm in the bus. If the kids, one or both, we're in a hotel, because
Smart.
I don't want to be the one to blame.
Okay. All right. So Ken gets a good night's sleep. You guys join at some point. It's chaos. I mean, I had never been to Salt Lake, but the way that road is, kind of goes up the hill. I mean, Suzuki, it is just it's yellow everywhere. So like, what is it like, you guys walking into that? Like, I mean, tell me what your Saturday morning looks like.
Well, I feel like for me, like, Friday, it's with the pop-up shop, people show up. Like, And so Saturday, we did it in Cleveland, did it in Salt Lake. When you see people coming and they're all in your stuff, like in the stuff that you've created, and they're here to support you, it's almost like a tactical warfare move for me. Because I'm like, Ken's going to see it. And it's almost like, when Taylor Swift drops like her little Easter eggs?
Yes. Ugh.
There's an Easter egg for me. That's my way of giving Ken that boost, because let's be honest, he loves to be loved. Like, he is a showman at heart. People's opinions matter to him. Like, he loves being with the fans, seeing the little kids. And so yeah, it's almost like we were walking into our house.
Yeah.
Because I'm from there. Ken claims it as his own. Everybody, like, there's so many Roczen merch people. Like, it was like a warm feeling just coming to the race. And so yeah, and we had a big agenda. We did the St. Jude giveaway. Called the recipient. So we stayed busy. Kids were down at the Lawrence camp for a long time.
Yep.
Doing their coloring. But I had my mother-in-law and her husband, Renee, and, they took them everywhere. So it was really just another weekend besides the emotional tie to it. And I think everything was good all day long. Like, practice and qualifying was the normal. Ken got his crash out of the way.
It's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah. But like, I knew that it's almost like he needed to have that to reassure himself in what needed to happen with the bike. So that's my mental. I'm not ever like, oh my God, I was so scared. It's like, no, that had to happen. That was part of the story. It needed to happen so that he could get exactly what he needed from that bike. But where it really where it hit for me, like, all day long, we're in and out of the bus, as normal. But when we were about to go up for opening ceremonies, we stayed behind. Ken went down for opening ceremonies, and that's when you're like getting kind of like the jitters. And I just gave him a big hug, and I was a mess, and then I made him a mess, because like, we've never been in this situation. We don't know what's going to happen. It's exciting. It's scary. But I'm really freaking proud of you, and you can rest when it's over. All of us here. I'm like kind of getting like a little bit balled up, because
no, me too.
It's still, I hope I never forget that feeling that we had. But yeah, what a moment that we were able to have. And then I'm like, hey, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back till the very end. I don't want to be a distraction. I don't want to, you need to dig in, and this is you and Larry and Dean. Get the job done. Like, and, yeah, I didn't come back, but afterwards I should have gone back, because he was a wreck. Like, good thing Rio's there, and she has been his constant since we got her. And his mom was there too, because she doesn't watch the races. She has never watched the races. It's too scary. So, but she snapped a photo of him like on the ground, snuggling with her. And Dean had told me after, he's like, Ken will probably be bummed for me telling you this, but she's like, Court, I have never seen him cry. Like, cry like that. Like, he just was so many emotions, because he's been let down so many times. And it's like, he's done this for, like, he started racing, I think, when he was 3 years old. He's done this for 29 years. And this is the one thing he hasn't got. And so, yeah, the anxiety had creeped in. And yeah, Dean was like, he's like, I didn't know what to say. I sat there, tried to comfort him, but also like be quiet and let him be in his thoughts, because he is the only one who can organize them and get on the bike and go do the darn thing.
Yes. Hold on. We need a tissue. Pause.
I know. I don't even
Oh my gosh. We're not even to the meat yet.
I know.
Oh my gosh. God bless Dean too. The
I
people
know,
in your camp are the best.
oh wait, yeah, there it
Here.
goes. I said trying to reconnect. The
That's
people
okay.
in my camp are the best. Like
Mhm.
I will stack them up against anyone in the paddock. Peyton and Dean, I will scream to the mountaintops. They are my MVPs because they've let me disconnect from racing,
Mm.
from the micromanaging part of racing. Like
Mm.
all I have to do is travel, make sure he's getting what he needs at home for, eating healthy, um, sleeping good, travel arrangements, keeping his calendar because I'm the bearer of the calendar. Like
Mhm.
nobody can touch the calendar. I think there's probably, in other athlete camps where agents maybe control the calendar, but everybody knows. You go to court if you want something because it is sacred to me to make sure that he has his time with us and the kids. And um, I, I'll fit everything in there strategically so that
Mhm.
he's not overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But those two guys, Dean and Peyton, they've let me just be a mom and a wife.
Yeah.
And I don't have to ask a darn thing. I don't have to worry about grocery shopping, making sure Dean has a list of food, healthy, whatever. He's me in male form at the races.
I love
Seriously.
that. I love it.
Yeah. He's like our brother. Like he was with Ken before I was with Ken.
Mhm.
And yeah, we love him and his wife dearly, but they're family to us,
Mhm.
you know?
I was talking to somebody about one of our favorite shock jocks who we will not give him any airtime here, but he's a little bit obsessed with your husband, and likes to use a particular phrase when he tears down your husband. But I think what annoys me most about the discussion around top level athletes is you have to be selfish. You have to be, pun intended, a savage. And you have to have that camp behind you. And when it works, this is what happens. I mean, you have great people in your corner. You get to be selfish. Everybody knows their lane. And we all got to witness that. And it's so cool. I love getting to talk to the people in your camp and just to hear like how much goes into it and how far the ripples go. And we all got to share in it. So just be in my feels.
Well, and like just going back to like Ken and his personality and, how he's, like I've said, I think in her lane, in my eyes, Ken has been the most scrutinized for so long.
Without a
I
doubt.
feel like Hayden and the Lawrences, I've kind of taken that on now. But because he was the first to be so open and
Mm,
transparent about what he's going through. But someone like Ken does not attract people like Justin Brayton, Adam
mm.
Cincerillo, Trey Kennard. Like those are
The
just to
best
name a
humans.
few. The best humans. If he was a jerk,
Mhm,
like you don't attract people like that.
mhm.
And each one of those guys have played such a role, like Shane McElrath. Like you don't attract people like that if you're a butthead. And
Mhm.
so I feel like the negativity that has gone out there around Ken is like it's almost like a jealousy because you don't know him.
Exactly. Mhm.
Yeah, I won't say like this person's jealous of not knowing Ken because that's not like I can't say that anyone is or isn't. But it's a definite inaccuracy in
Mm,
for the lack of not knowing him, which
mhm.
Ken's pretty approachable. So
Yeah.
yeah,
He's a gift in that respect. I mean, honestly, like up against Eli, like Eli's very, very private and, that's a completely different dynamic. But one of my favorite things to do really for years, is just to sit back during autograph lines. It's just so funny. I've never been through an autograph line. I think I just would be so weird. I'm so overwhelmed in the moment at races that I'm just like, I love all these people. So I've never been in an autograph line, but I love watching them. It's my favorite thing. And watching Ken and the VIPs at Salt Lake, like, I just don't know how he could carry the weight of that day and what's coming and still be so present. Like, that's just something you're born with. Like, that's something in his DNA.
for sure. For sure. Yeah, he's a people person. I think Roger DeCoster actually said Ken is one of the guys who like rises when it gets more chaotic, and
Mhm.
that's true in every form. Like
Yeah.
he knows how to like thrive in that like those scenarios.
Yeah. Goodness. And then to just be born with like the physical side of it too. Like the things that needed to line up in 2026 for everything. Like I just get chills. So,
Stars
okay.
aligned.
So he goes out for opening ceremonies.
Yep, goes out for opening ceremonies, comes back up. We say our farewells for the evening or for the night show. And yeah, I was just going into the stadium, and Kathy Tomac, she's like, "Where are you watching from?" You know, and I'm like, "I'm just going to the stands." She's like, come to our suite." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm coming," because I'm never gonna turn down a private moment, because who knows what's gonna come out, or who knows like what, like, I have some moments where I'm just like ashamed of my behavior, but it's like I said, it's a outer body experience for me, and I feel it. I feel every bit of it, the frustrations, the good parts, everything. So, yep, we go in there and say our hellos, and like, of course, like one of my longest friends, Whitney's in there with her kid, Whitney Dungy, with her 2 kids. Jess and Kath and their family friends are in there. And then Eli's heat goes, and second turn crash, bad. And it was like, they all left. And that kind of what made me, like, it was comforting having them there. And then with them gone, I'm like, oh my gosh, like the heaviness kind of it kind of just sat with me a little bit, where I'm like, I'm definitely not going back to the bus now. Like,
Nope,
definitely
we're
not
staying
going
put.
back to the bus. Yeah. And it just sucks when you see good people get hurt. But yeah, we stayed up there for a long while, and saw so many people in and out. You know, would run to go grab a bite to eat or go use the restroom in between, and saw like Jeremy McGrath, and saw Davey and Brittany Millsaps, and just, man, we're cheering for you guys. And I know that they were cheering for probably just the event in itself, the magnitude of what the finale was.
Yeah.
But it was just cool to see just familiar faces throughout the night. And then it was way cool when I got back, and like Jade was in there with Wid, and Ryan was up there, and we've been friends for so long. And I like text Lynn's after, and I'm like, man, it was cool to have your crew in there, because we've had some fierce battles.
Yeah.
Where Dungy versus Roxan's, and like we've been friends through all of it. And yeah, so it's just cool to see, have just really great people to experience that with. And kids are running around and they're playing, and I could actually watch the race and be present, because, Whit and Jade's kids are playing with my kids. And yeah, the heat race was what it was. Of course, get a little bit of the jitters out, but then once the main event came around, it was like, oh, I was shaking like a leaf. And yeah, the first turn, like you're cheering, and you're like, this is going to be the longest 20 minutes of my life.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, like you felt Hunter the whole way. But then it got really exciting, because like with Prado coming up, Hunter's it's in a very difficult position, one for Hunter to be in, because he's racing forward and backwards. And then you have Jorge, who you're like, you want to see him do well, but you're like, please don't interfere with this. Like, I know he wants to do well for himself, but I'm like, my gosh, like. And then when Hunter went down, I went into, I've never hyperventilated so much in my life.
Oh my
I've never bawled my eyes out at a race, but I had my head between my legs, and I remember my mom had her arms around me, and I just was like gasping for air while I'm like bawling. And yeah, I had to collect myself, but I had a moment where I was like, never experienced that in my life. And I hope that I never have to, because that was like, like, I don't know. Like, that's never happened to me ever. And yeah, just bawling. And I'm like, run, Ken, run. Like, and that's pretty common for me to say always, like, run, just run, go, 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 go. And yeah, it was just, you saw it. Well, and it's like, I had a moment before the gate went down or fell. And because, going into the main, you're like, let's go, let's get this done. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And I was, yeah, like I said, I was super, super nervous, but I had this moment where like, I see him on the gate, and I just reminded myself, I'm going to be okay with second. Like, we're going to be okay with second. It's going to be fine. And that brought like that sense of, it is what it is, whatever the outcome. And like in the Fox letter, it's not going to define us because he's already got here. And then the gate dropped and it played out that way. But yeah, last lap, you're just like, just stay in front of Hunter, please. Like this, like you never know what could happen in the last 2 laps of an event. So yeah, and then I went running.
Yeah.
Running as fast as I could, and it was so cool because like Larry's daughter was in the elevator with us, and I'm sobbing, and she's just over the moon. Like, what a story! Like, her dad, like this has happened for her dad, and I have so much admiration for Larry too because like he stepped away. And he raised his kids, and you can see how close they are, and they show up all the time for him. And, they showed up for us at that race. And, so yeah, getting to experience it, with his kids and just over the moon for everyone. And, we went running. I'm like, me first. Like, it sounds awful, but I'm like, get me in the elevator, get out of the way. Yeah.
So what point do you leave the suite? Like, where in the race is it? Like, you see all the way to the end?
I never leave my seat until the checkered flag waves. Never.
Okay.
You will never see me. I'm usually probably the last to get to the floor because a little bit of me is, superstitious. You never leave my seat before the checkered flag falls.
Okay.
So,
all right.
yeah, I was there the whole time. But yeah, as soon it was on.
It was on. It was game on.
I was gone.
Oh my gosh. I had kind of joked the week before. I said on the pod, I was like, listen, I don't have a media credential. I do not have the right credentials to get on the floor. I was like, I do not care if I never make it to another Feld event again. If I get arrested, I was like, I'm going to the floor. Like, I don't know how I'm getting down there.
Yeah.
So I am running. There's maybe 2 minutes left. And so when I left, Chase was putting the charge on. And I was like, doesn't matter. Ken's still ahead of Hunter. I am equally hyperventilating because nobody's ever called me dramatic ever, but snotting already. I'm running down the ramp to the gate, and I run into Steve. And so I'm like, I know who you are. I don't think you know who I am. But he kind of looks
Steve
at me and nods. Yes, your agent.
Yeah.
And good buddy. And so I snuck in with Steve. Which I was like, nobody's going to say no to Steve.
No,
big, tall, intimidating dude.
And everyone's down there, and it was super cool because like Gabrielle was with Kenny Day from Alpine Stars, and like he knows how close K-Day is with, and he's like, go celebrate with your guy. Like that's how humble a crew that whole team is. Like gear sponsors, and like K-Day had just left Fox for Alpine Stars, but like greatness recognizes greatness, and like for Gabrielle to be like, K-Day, go, like go celebrate. Like this is friendship. This has nothing to do with partnerships. And I think I saw K-Day first and just I was a sobbing mess. I think I hugged nearly everyone on the floor before. I look back at all the pictures and I'm like, I'm such an ugly crier. Like I was a wreck. I was a wreck. Wow.
Golly. So you make it down there. You see Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny Day, not your Kenny. It takes you a while to get to your Ken. I mean, I don't even know. I didn't know where he finished because we were all like, wait, Chase won. What's happening? Larry makes it to him first. So can you see Larry getting to him? Like what do you see when you get down there?
At that point, I'm in the elevator with his daughter.
That's true.
And then I think when I got down to the floor, I think at one point I like lost my mom. And I was like, where's my mom? Like, I think like if you look back at the post-race thing, I'm like, where's my mom? Because my dad was down there. Mikey was down there. So she would have been totally fine because she obviously knows everybody. But I'm like, where's my mom? Where's my kids? Like, we still have half a track to go to. And so finally made our way to Ken, and it was sobbing. Everyone was sobbing. I don't think there was a dry eye. And like the sound out of that stadium. I mean, I always thought Indy was the loudest that I have ever heard anyone cheer for a single rider. And then Salt Lake, it just doubled. Like that was crazy in my mind.
So
Nobody
loud.
left. So loud. You couldn't really hear it so much on the broadcast, but being in that Like you felt like you were in like the great Colosseums.
Mhm.
In the sound that was just coming out of it, just people chanting his name. You're like, that was, I don't know if that's ever happened before.
That's what
So
everybody was
like,
saying. They'd be
yeah,
like, "This
that
is
was
incredible."
so special. Like people stuck around to like, it mattered to a lot of people, the outcome of this championship.
Yeah, it really did. So you finally make it to Ken. Everybody's like
Yep.
parting the Red Sea, the Yellow Sea,
Yeah.
and you have the boys there. What do you remember what he said to you? Do you remember what you said? Like what happened in that moment?
I just remember he said, we did it. Like,
Mm.
and it says so much when he says like, it was a we thing. Like, I'm a player in this whole thing. Peyton, Dean, but Ken ultimately is the one who has to do the work.
Mhm.
But in Ken's eyes, it's always a we thing. Like this is such a team sport. Yeah, just we did it. And yeah, when we got the #1 jersey from Matt Mora, it was like, wow, like, it doesn't even feel real. It still doesn't feel real because the trophy's not even here. So it's not like that constant like reminder that you did this. Like, there's nothing at our house that says, "Hey, you're the 2026 champion."
Mhm.
It's all at Fox. And yeah, just getting to see him with the monkey off the back, relieved it was done. He could take that big sigh and just know how amazing it was what he had just accomplished. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. It was just undescribable, really.
Yeah. I mean, this is everybody jokes about it that they're like, this is the stuff of movies. So like we're gonna have the Roxon story at some point. So I've always said like
Maybe, yeah.
bring me on as a consultant just for the Courtney side. But
Yeah.
the moment he gets the jersey is that moment is burned into my brain. Like you said
His
it. He
face.
took a breath.
Yeah.
Like you've been
Yeah.
holding your breath for 29 years.
29 years. Yeah. Or, yeah, he turned what? He was in 450 class since 2014. So it's 2015. Yeah, 2014.
Mhm.
So yeah, 12 years trying to get this darn thing. And it's been like a carrot so
Mhm.
many times.
So many times.
And just, yeah, never was able to get the job done until
Yeah.
this year. So,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like a long-standing joke in our house where I think it was Anaheim. Because you know me, I love a good project at home. I love a good remodel or something to improve at home. And I never told him, but I'm like, I know right where we can put this trophy if you decide to win it this year. Like, just kind of nonchalantly
Mhm.
joking. And I never told him where it was, which is kind of why the trophy's at Fox, because I don't have it built out yet. But just trying to keep it fun and lighthearted, and just like, even though you're the old guy, you can still make it happen.
Mhm.
But yeah, like all year it's been kind of that thing where, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? Like, we're just happy to be here, you
Yeah.
know?
I think one of the first things you said, somebody was like, somebody asked you something and you were like, I get my cabinets.
I get my cabinets, yeah. Because yeah, there's nowhere to put it. The thing is giant.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
giant.
huge. It's like comically huge.
Like we had to when we shipped it to Fox, we bought a golf case to
Oh,
ship it. Because I'm like, how are we supposed to get this home? Like, are we gonna have to
yeah.
buy a seat? Because if it was coming home, I'm like, that might be the only way.
Mhm.
So
Goodness. Oh, so what do you remember of Ken doing interviews, I mean, the iconic, like, dealing through anxiety? I mean, you're down and hugging everybody while he's doing post-race interviews. Like, what do you remember of that?
I just was going around thanking everybody, really. Like I finally got to listen to his interview when we went back and watched it. And it's so true. Like, he's had to do so much work. He probably did more work mentally than he has ever before. Like, he's worked with a fantastic um performance psychologist
Mm.
a couple years ago. But he still is he'll still like nicely like check in. Hey, how's it going? I'm keeping tabs on your racing. And, Ken had to do a lot of hard work with him. I
Mm.
remember he had made Ken watch his 2017 crash like frame by frame
Ooh.
and just describe like how he was feeling because you'd never want an athlete to be fearful.
Mhm.
And after that crash, yeah, I remember like yeah, he put in a lot of hard work with his with his therapist or psychologist, and seeing him tap back into all the things that he had learned from him, he did more mental work this year than I have ever seen him do since then. But yeah, the power of harnessing the emotions and all of your feelings and any kind of negativity that would creep back in. He really had a a good grip on that and um, how to control it.
Yeah. I thought it was so special that he used that moment to highlight that, to be like, I struggle with this. Like, I am at the top echelon of the sport. I have been to hell and back. I almost lost my arms. And he used that moment to highlight, like, this is okay. This is normal to feel these things and you can overcome them. I just thought that was so cool. And it's such a macho sport where we don't talk about things like that. He was like, no, I'm going to use my moment to shed light on that. Like, that's just so cool.
And I think for Ken, it's nothing like it's not like he's has like a platform for mental health. It's not like he's out screaming, we need to protect men's mental health or anything, but that was his normalizing it.
Mm,
Like, this doesn't need to be a highlighted topic. This should be just something that is organically taken care of as you take care of your diet, your physical fitness. Um, yeah, it's that's part of his everyday
yeah.
is mental, physical, and what you're putting inside your body.
Yeah.
So
That was really special. I just, it's one of those moments where I feel like you said, it was out of body. Like everybody, the chanting Kenny, everybody, so many people. I mean, Hunter coming over, Griff running around with the plate. Like it just like there were so many moments that just like they were bigger than the sport. Obviously, like I'm a super fan. I'm a super fan of moto. I'm a super fan of you guys, but the energy there is just something like I don't think you can describe it. It was just like magical.
yeah,
Uh,
and it like for me, like it all kind of washes away until I look at my kids and how much they were enjoying it. Like you saw Rafi with the big medal. Like Griffey had the plate. He was running through the whoops and doing all sorts of funny things. But Rafi like had the medal and he's like dancing with it. He's doing like he has like this cool little like dance that he does, and like he knows that this is a time for celebration. Like
mhm,
and I'm so thankful though to have all the videos and everything because he's not going to remember this.
mhm,
Um you know, who knows if Griff is even to the age that he will, but we have so many ways of showing them like you guys were so a part of this, and we all celebrated
mhm.
massively, even down to letting the boys twist the throttle on the bike, and yeah, just what a cool week.
So cool. So things start winding down. I mean, the stadium is still full. Like nobody leaves. You guys are walking out with the comical trophy. I literally was like, I just want to sit here and watch. So I'm creepy watching you guys watching Suzuki. I was blessed to just sit there and like observe. What is the first conversation when you guys are by yourself? What does that look like if you remember?
I think just talking of like we're always ones to be like, can you believe that we're parents with 2 kids? Can you believe that we have been doing this for however many years together? So it was one of those where it's like, can you believe you just won the championship? You know? And yeah, it was cool just to kind of see all of it kind of laying on the table, back at the bus, and it's like this is real. It doesn't feel
Mhm,
real, and you just had to put in a lot of work, but it's something that we envisioned it happening, but you don't know you got just this huge other gift of memories that went
mhm,
along with it. Like you can see crossing the finish line, like because you've done that 1,000 times. But what happens after the checkered flag? Like that
yeah,
was such a gift. Just to share it with everyone, to see all the stuff that like once it hit home, it's like, this is forever. Like
mhm,
this is this is done, and it's forever. And I know that it'll probably, it'll go away once there's a new champion, but I feel like it'll forever be kind of a moment in people's minds. Like that was really freaking
absolutely.
cool. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, and so I mean, there's so many layers to it. Like his age, his journey, the bike. I mean, Larry, it's just, you could not have
Yeah.
scripted in a crazier season. So, oh my gosh. That evening, you finally trying to blow up the bike. I love it. That moment is one that will live in infamy. Oh
I felt
gosh.
like such a nerd because I've never I can't I mean I've ridden a bike around our yard, like a actual race bike, but I can't say I've ever put my hand on Ken's throttle before. I'm like,
Interesting.
this is
Yeah.
weird. Like, we have our bikes that we play around on, in the yard, and we ride bikes frequently, but I'm like, uh this is Ken's workhorse. Like, it's like,
Mhm.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't want to hurt you because um yeah, it was just, I've never put my hand like on his throttle or anything like that before. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey,
You could
I
tell
don't
you
know.
hesitated for a second.
Yeah,
Like, it
I
was
didn't know
like,
what
and everybody's like,
what
you
am I
gotta do
looking
it.
for? Like, yeah, I had no idea.
That was such a cool moment. I loved it. I loved everybody cheering you on. I mean, like it like erupted when you did it. Like it was just one thing after another. Just such cool moments.
Yeah.
Gosh, so
That's what's
special.
so
And
cool
just
about our team, though. Like, they have fully embraced our entire family. Like,
Mhm.
everyone's a family over there, like Dustin's related to Aaron, well, and Dana, but Dana is also related to Chase. And then, Larry's got his son there. Like, it's very much a family atmosphere. And so, like, I am able to be just like one of them. Like, they consider me part of the team. I'm not just like, I'm here for the weekend and then I'm going home. Like, I talk to these guys a couple times a week during the season.
yeah.
So yeah, they're very sweet.
So things eventually wind down.
Yep.
Adam 7 Deuce Deuce takes over.
Isn't he the best? Isn't he the best? I
My
was
gosh,
like,
the best.
because I know how long Adam has been with that crew. And I'm like, Adam, the Suzuki freaking did it. And he's like, girl, I don't even want to talk about the Suzuki. He's like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, thank you. You're so sweet.
He's
I have a
seriously one
funny
of the best
fishing
humans.
story with them. Did I ever tell you the fishing story?
No, please do.
I'll have to, so I went fishing with the Entic Naps, dad and brothers, with Ken and Peyton when we were up there for a long time. This was pre-17. This might have been 2016.
Mm.
We went out to Channel Islands, and I'm not a fisherwoman. I just went for the ride, and it's a long, long haul out from Santa Barbara out to Channel Islands. But yeah, Papa Deuce Deuce took us out there, and Ken and Peyton are fishing, and like, so are the other guys, and they're like, Court, you should fish. And I'm like, I don't think so. Like, it's kind of boring. I'm like, I need to be doing something. Like, me just sitting with just doesn't clock with me. So they're like, no, here's a pole. And like, Peyton had pulled up some like little ones, and I think Ken had pulled up a couple. And it's like my second cast. And I'm standing right next to Peyton, and I'm like, Peyton's looking at me, reel it in. Like, kind of like, man up, like, pull it in. I'm like, Peyton, help me. And he's like, okay. And so we start cranking and cranking and cranking, and this massive halibut comes out of the water.
What?
I mean, it's like this. It's like this round. And everyone's stoked. Yeah. So we bring it in, and I get my pitcher with the fish. We put it in the ice chest, and we're like, we're having some fish tacos tonight. Like, we're all so stoked. And then we go. The tail of the fish is sticking out of the cooler, and Dad opens it up and gets it back in there, and the thing's still alive, and it flops and then jumps back in the ocean. We're all just like, that just happened. So yeah, that's my Entic Nap story. Like, and the whole way I was just like, I can't believe I caught a fish. For that, I was the only one that caught a fish of that size. But yeah, it was so funny because we're like, we farmed the halibut. He went back out.
Golly.
Yeah, he's cool. We've known them for so long too. So it's good people all around.
Yeah. Adam is one of the good ones. Absolutely. So it was fun to be able to like geek out with him this year, because I feel like I don't get to shoot the shit with the media, and Adam is one that I feel like I do get to. And so it's like, okay, we get to be biased. We get to, our love of Suzuki this year runs deep. So it was fun to have someone to nerd out with, I did have someone on the media side be like, you're going to have to tone down your love of Kenny if you want to be more professional. And I was like, I don't know how to do either of those things.
Yeah. You're like, I'm just a cheerleader of everyone. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So, oh my goodness. So let's talk a little bit about after. Like
Okay.
what does Sunday, Monday, week 1, week 2, what does that look like? How do you guys process it?
I know we came home. We've been on the gas, honestly,
Have been.
since then. Since then. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you get back to life quickly. It's like, that was just a race. Season's done. We still got 2 weeks left of school left. Actually, Ken and Peyton did do show and tell at school. They took the
Oh.
bike. Yep, they took the bike. They took the trophy, went to California, but he still had like the #1 plate and stuff here. So, and I think he took like a helmet and let the kids like all pass it around. All the kids got to sit on the bike. Yeah, everyone at Griffey's school. Because it's really cool. Like, Peyton's kids also go to school with Griffey. They're in the same class. So this was a celebration of Meadow Willow's dad and Griffin's dad. And so yeah, we did that in the after. Yeah, we just kind of got back to normal. We went up to the Montreal F1 race. Red Bull hosted us up there, and that was super cool. We don't get to do many things like that. And last year we went to Miami, and I was like, how did I make Miami work last year? I'm like, because I remember Ken flew from Denver and we went to Miami F1, and I'm like, oh, he didn't race Denver. Like, that's why. And I'm like, okay, we're definitely not going to Miami this year.
Oh, it was a disaster.
Because Miami's great. You can see so much in Miami. Montreal, you can't really see much because they got a whole bunch of trees. But yeah, so because the boys are so into F1, like they know all the names, all the numbers, who's on what. They're big Max fans. I will say that the song probably helped with it, but yeah, yeah, I actually made Ken watch because I'm probably more of the F1 fan than, like, I've brought Ken into F1. Just like how I can say how I brought Ken into surfing because that was my job for a while. And like, he would play surf, but he never would watch like competitive surfing. Now he does. And now he'll watch like the F1 races. And Blake brought me into it. So it's like this shared family thing. And yeah, I had Ken finally watch. I was like, just watch the last episode of Drive to Survive. And I just love the parallels. And of course, like, everyone wants to say, like, there's a parallel with Max Verstappen. And but when he was like coming, he's going for Lando. And I'm like, that was you after Hunter. Like, no doubts. We did not ever doubt our team. But yeah, like, for the finale, I almost wanted to get him the butt patch that said, "Call me Chucky," because of that. I'm like, we're coming. Like, yeah. So
That's so cool. I love that. I think that Ken must have said something, maybe it was on AC and JB, but that like F1 is like anxiety inducing for him. Like, that he's like, sometimes like I don't want to be in the racing mindset, and so like watching F1 is anxiety inducing.
Yeah, he won't watch anything like sports related at night. I mean, except for soccer, because like right now World Cup is everywhere at my house.
Living.
Yeah, he won't watch it. Like, I remember I wanted to watch like the Michael Jordan documentary, and he's like, absolutely not. Because like, as an athlete, you feel this like hype and this anxiety because you kind of can pick like pieces of what they're feeling.
Yeah.
You can't watch Miracle at night. Like, he's like, nope. Like, even if it's a Disney sports show, nope.
That's really interesting, and it's cool that he knows that.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no, it's like The Office, or I can't even tell you how many times we've watched Kenny Powers or Eastbound and Down. I'm like, I'm going in the living room.
My goodness. Well, I'm so excited for you guys to have some downtime, quote unquote. We're going to say big air quotes. Everybody is like, we know Ken is going to get bored. We hope Ken is going to get bored. So we hope to see you guys at some events.
I'm putting my money on it right now. We won't be at any outdoor events.
Okay.
He's got so much going on. He has the truck race coming up. He has a test. And then he's doing Fall Crandon, which, he's excited and nervous about. It's something new. And so maybe that'll be his gate drop this year, because it's, he's got a new, like, Glen Helen and this one, I guess, are completely different. I'm completely new to the sport. Luckily, if I have any questions, I have great people to lean on. Like, hey, what do we do in this situation? Or what, but I guess it's like a full speed start,
Whoa.
which they're
Okay.
like, by the time the green flag is waved, like they're going like 100 miles an hour. So I don't know. My dad's going to go to that race. My brother, I think, is going to go to that race. We're going to be truck racers for a weekend.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping I'm going to come out for Glen Helen for it because I just think that would be so fun. I've seen them like at X Games and it's just like, this is so gnarly. Like, not that moto's
It's
not, but it's like a
loud.
whole,
It is.
it's so loud. Goodness. Well, with age comes cage.
Yeah, and I'm here for it because I would love to get the boys into something like the I know that they have like a Polaris, like a Razor class. I think you have to be 6 to start in that class. So I'm like, as soon as Griffey's 6, like we're getting a roll cage because I want him to know, I want him to try it all. Like dirt bikes are very easy to come by for Griffey. I mean, I'm sitting in the shop and I'm like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 between bikes and bicycles just that way. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's 18 bikes just right here surrounding me. So like bicycles and dirt bikes are no problem for us, but let's try something different.
Yeah. I love that. And I love that you're like, let's just figure out what works. Let's figure out what makes them tick, because they are Roxens. They've got it in their blood.
Yeah. And you never want to force your kids into anything, but my kids have the athletic gene. So I'm going to lean into that. And so, if like, I would say that we're both pretty athletic. And so, I'm going to lean into that part of our life. And if it goes anywhere, awesome. But if it doesn't, they'll just be school kids.
Just school kids. Just Roxen school kids.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't want to take up, literally I could talk to you until I'm blue in the face. And like, I just have so many questions, but I wanted to focus specifically on Salt Lake. I wanted the boys to be able to look back and be like, yes, dad did this. We have the big trophy, but like dad didn't do this without mom and mom is a badass.
Thank you.
And there's all of my listeners are fascinated with you. Like, because 93% female listener base, they're like, you got to get Courtney on. I'm like, listen, it's my dream. So thank you, Courtney, so much for coming to chat. This has been so fun.
Of course. Yep. Anytime. It's always a pleasure to chat.
I love it. Well, we're going to close out with 3 questions.
Okay.
I prepped you on them.
Yep.
And these are that we ask all of the listeners or all the guests. What is one thing you wish you could admit to other women without guilt or judgment? So like, what are we not talking about? What's not being discussed?
In life or in
life and moto
industry?
Anyway. I'd love to know. Well, you've worked both sides of the industry, so I'd love to know from a moto perspective, but either way.
I guess it could be like pretty controversial because I get, women do play such a huge role in sports in general. But I feel like I was really lucky to have had a career before meeting Ken. And so I guess to sum it up, never follow a boy before doing something for yourself. Like whether it's school, whether it's, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of other people. And so I feel like I've filled my cup with what I needed to accomplish in life. And I've, felt fulfilled before even meeting Ken. So, never follow a boy.
Love that.
Until you're ready and you're like, I can be proud of myself by what I gave to myself.
Yeah. And at that point, you're not following a boy, probably you're following a man.
True. Yes. Yeah.
I love that. And I can see where you hesitated with like, this could be controversial because that is not always the case for women in moto. They're young. Different paths women can take.
I'm old. I think I'm probably double most of their ages. Like, my mom was a young mom and I'm like, dude, I could be like some of these girls' mom, which is wild to me because like when at my age, my mom had a 19-year-old.
Good night.
Like,
you imagine how much more energy we'd have?
I mean, yeah, like we'd have our kids going off to college and said, I've got 2 little rugrats, but yeah, like I'm old in our sport, but you know what? I love it. I love that I can.
And look what he did.
We're the oldest.
You have a
They're
visitor?
back. Yeah,
the boys.
I hear them back.
We'll wrap them
Hi.
up. Hi, friends. They sneaking in?
Hi.
How was swimming lessons?
Ken's here. How was swim lessons? Oh gosh.
Oh no. That's how our swim lessons have been with my little one.
Crying.
Oh,
Swim lessons.
Rafe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh, poor bub. Okay, we've got 2 more questions. We'll get you out of here.
'Kay.
Go snuggle your babies. All right, you've got $1,000 to spend.
Yep.
Nobody gets an opinion. You don't get to be responsible. You can't pay bills. You can't invest. What are you doing with $1,000 plopped in your lap?
So my Florida resident rate gets me a great rate on Disney cruises, and I love them and I hate them at the same time. It's like I love booking one and I love getting there, and I hate it while I'm on there. But regardless, I've already done 5, and it would probably be you pay for 3/4 of a Disney cruise. I think for the boys and I, it's like $1,800 to go on a 3 or 4 day cruise to the Bahamas. So that's what I would do with my $1,000.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I don't
Weird.
I don't like shopping. I mean, I do like shopping. What girl says they don't like shopping? I don't need to go shopping. I would do an experience. So yeah, probably Disney cruise because Port Canaveral's like an hour that way.
Right there. Seriously,
We could be there
it is right
tomorrow. Wait, today's Friday. They haven't even left the port yet. So
there. Go jump on a cruise. I mean,
I know.
I'm so here for Roxen off season. All right, leave us with 2 truths and a lie.
I have had a dog named Cindy Lou.
Okay.
I love a good horror movie. And I love a granny craft.
Okay. Don't say it on record. I'll make sure that I document it after we pause recording. But Courtney, you are a delight. You are just such a weapon for the sport. And if you had told me 15 years ago when I started following that husband of yours that I would get to talk to you, I would just pinch myself. I mean, I told you like all my embarrassing stories about asking KTM where Kenny was in the wrong coast. And I'm just such a fan of you and your husband and your boys and your mom and your brother and just everyone in your camp. So really, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. It's been fun.